Welcome to the 107th Ravens, pilot. I'm Lieutenant Samza, squadron leader. As you know, the Aquitaine is now en route to the Gamma Draconis system. The details of the situation there have been classified at the highest level, so I'm as much in the dark as you are. The Admiral will brief the crew when we reach 3rd Fleet Headquarters in Capella. The 107th is a heavy assault squadron, so our fighter of choice is the Hercules Mark II. Implementing advances in fusion drive technology, the Mark II improves the assault fighter's speed and maneuverability without sacrificing loadout. The Herc has only 2 missile banks, but its ordnance capacity is greater than the Myrmidons. The original Herc won the Great War, so we're proud to carry on the tradition. I recommend that you review the Herc 2 training modules before the Aquitaine arrives in Capella. These modules review advanced tactics, such as countermeasures and energy management. The Herc 2 is slower than the Myrmidon you've been flying with the 53rd, so learn how to evade missiles and equalize shields. These skills will help you push your fighter to the limits. Master them, and the life you save may be your own. According to your file, you are now authorized to use the GTW-5A Prometheus R, the GTM-19 Harpoon, and the GTM-4 Hornet missile. The Prometheus R is a retrofit of a cannon developed during the Great War. After the Alliance lost contact with Earth, we lacked materials required for mass production, so engineers developed this retrofit version. The Prometheus packs a bigger wallop than the Subak HL-7, but it will drain your power reserves with extended use. The Harpoon and the Hornet are both aspect-seeking missiles. While the Harpoon fires individual warheads, the Hornet launches a swarm of 4 projectiles, 8 if you're in double-fire mode. The training modules cover the proper technique for firing aspect-seeking missiles, so be sure to review that section carefully. That's all for now, pilot. The Aquitaine will arrive in Capella in 4 hours.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM107M, Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with communication systems, countermeasures, and aspect-seeking missiles. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training. Welcome to Module TSM107M, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. Let's begin with messaging. For Class A qualification, you learned how to call in a support ship to rearm and repair subsystems. Now, we'll show you how to give orders to pilots under your command. Our target for this simulation will be an Argo-class transport. Target the transport. Use your hostile targeting control. Good. Now you'll call in your reinforcements. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select reinforcements. Then, select the wing you want to call in. Epsilon Wing is your only option, so hit the 1 key. Well done. Confirm that you still have the transport targeted. Now have Epsilon Wing destroy the transport. Press the communications key to bring up your messaging box again. Select 2 to transmit your orders to a specific wing. Then hit 1 to choose Epsilon Wing. By selecting Epsilon Wing, you are sending your orders to that wing only. Now, press the 1 key, and Epsilon will destroy your target.
Roger that, sir. Engaging your target.
Well done, pilot. Let's try this again. Order Epsilon Wing to destroy Transport 2.
Engaging your
Do you
target.
remember your previous instruction? If not, consult the directives list. Good work. Be aware that fighter wings are less effective against larger targets. Bombers or vessels with beam turrets are usually required to destroy warships Also note that reinforcements are not always available, and you will have authorization to issue orders only to specific wings and ships. Now, let's order Epsilon Wing to depart. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select 2 for Wing and 1 for Epsilon. Finally, press 0 for depart.
Yes, sir. I'm out of here.
Excellent work. As you gain experience in combat, using the communications interface will become second nature. All right, pilot, now it's time to learn about countermeasures. When you launch a countermeasure, you present a new target for pursuing missiles. In theory, the missile should hit the countermeasure instead of ripping a hole through your hull. You need to use countermeasures to survive in battle, but you'll soon learn this tactic does not always work. For this exercise, we'll bring in a Leviathan-class cruiser. The cruiser will now launch missiles at you. Press the countermeasures key to evade the missile. Immediately increase your forward velocity to maximum and move away from the pursuing missiles. Punch your afterburners to gain that extra burst of speed. A yellow triangle will appear on your HUD, indicating the vector of the missile's approach. Try to keep this indicator in the 3 or 9 o'clock position. When the missile is nearly upon you, launch the countermeasure. Listen to the beeping sound of the missile lock to gauge the distance of the missile. The quicker the beeps, the closer the missile. While launching countermeasures, turn your fighter hard in sharp movements. This will also help throw the missile off your trail. If you evade the missile, an indicator will display in the upper portion of your targeting reticle. This will alert you to the fact that you successfully avoided the projectile. The number of countermeasures remaining is indicated on your HUD below the weapons display. If you run out of countermeasures, call in the support ship to reload. That's enough for evading missiles. Now let's practice firing them. Your Hercules Mark II heavy assault fighter is armed with 2 banks of harpoons. Unlike heat seekers like the Rockeye, you must acquire a lock on your target in order for an aspect seeker to home. However, the aspect seeker is well worth the effort because its homing ability is much stronger. If a heat seeker loses track of its target, chances are it will not reacquire lock. Aspect seekers, on the other hand, will track their targets until they detonate. Transport 3 is now entering. Let's take this opportunity to learn another targeting control. You have a reticle targeting control that will acquire the nearest object inside your reticle. Maneuver your fighter so that my ship is centered on your HUD. Good. Now use the reticle targeting control to target my fighter. Well done. Now, target Transport 3 using the reticle targeting control. Make sure the transport is in the center. Excellent. Now, let's see how you do with those harpoons. Notice the red indicator moving towards your target. That's the aspect triangle. Once it is moved onto your target, you'll see the lock indicator. This means your harpoons are locked and ready to fire. Now, fire 1 harpoon at the freighter. Note how fast the harpoon moves. This warhead delivers quite a punch. A round of harpoons can be fired every 3 seconds. Fire another round and note the countdown timer in your weapons gauge. The harpoon is almost useless if fired before lock has been acquired. That's a major distinction between the harpoon and the Rockeye. Now, unload your harpoons until you've destroyed Transport 3. Excellent job. Let's see how you do against moving targets. In order to gain aspect lock on a moving target, you must keep the target's lock box in a fixed position inside your HUD reticle. We'll now bring in the fighter drones. When the first drone enters, target it, and acquire lock. Try to keep the target indicator in the center of your HUD reticle. Once you have acquired lock, fire a harpoon to destroy the drone. These drones will not be using countermeasures. Well done! All aspect seekers function this way, from the Hornet missile to the Helios torpedo. In general, the larger and more powerful the warhead, the longer it will take to acquire lock and countdown between volleys. Now, let's have you face a real challenge. Multiple wings will appear simultaneously. Destroy them all. You must be in range of your target before you can gain aspect lock. Hit your burners to intercept the drones. Well done. This concludes module TSM107M. Engage your subspace drive to end this simulation. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM107M Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. You are advised to proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM107SE, covering shield management and the energy transfer system.